The Whispering Woods. In a small town surrounded by dense forests, a legend whispered through the generations, the Whispering Woods. Locals claimed that anyone who entered would hear voices beckoning them deeper into the trees. Many had ventured in, but few returned unchanged. One chilly October evening, a group of friends, Sarah, Mark, and Lily, decided to test the legend. Armed with flashlights and bravado, they trekked into the woods just as twilight cast eerie shadows. At first, the woods were silent except for the crunch of leaves underfoot. As they ventured further, however, a low murmur began to rise around them. It was as if the trees themselves were speaking. Sarah, intrigued, paused to listen. "Can you hear that?" she asked, her breath misting in the cold air. Mark rolled his eyes. "It's just the wind." But Lily, who had been unusually quiet, shook her head. "No, it's more than that. It feels alive." Ignoring her warning, they pressed on until the path seemed to fade, swallowed by the underbrush. The whispers grew louder, intertwining with the rustling leaves. It felt as if they were being watched, but they laughed it off, convincing themselves it was just the thrill of the unknown. Suddenly, Mark stopped. "Do you see that?" He pointed ahead. A faint glow flickered between the trees. Curiosity piqued, they approached cautiously, the air thick with tension. As they neared, the light flickered out, plunging them into darkness. Panic set in. "We should turn back," Lily urged, her voice trembling. But Sarah, emboldened by the mystery, pushed ahead. "We can't leave now. We have to find out what it is." With a sigh, Mark followed her deeper into the woods, though dread gnawed at his gut. The whispers intensified, now forming words that slipped just beyond comprehension. Shadows darted between the trees, and the trio felt a chilling presence, as if something ancient and malevolent lurked just out of sight. "Sarah, wait," Mark called, but she had already moved ahead. In the dim light of their flashlights, they saw her standing in a small clearing, her eyes wide with awe. "Look," she exclaimed, pointing to a circle of stones at the center. But the stones weren't just stones. They were covered in strange, pulsing symbols that seemed to breathe. The whispers coalesced into a haunting chant, drawing Sarah closer. "I can hear them," she whispered, entranced. "They want us to join them." "Join who?" Mark shouted, fear creeping into his voice. He grabbed Sarah's arm, but she shook him off, stepping forward as if in a trance. Suddenly, Lily screamed. From the shadows emerged figures, shadows of people, faces twisted in agony, mouths open in silent screams. They reached out toward Sarah, their whispers growing frantic. "Join us, join us." Mark, paralyzed with terror, finally broke free of his fear and lunged for Sarah, pulling her back just as the shadows grasped at her. "Run," he yelled, dragging both girls away from the circle. As they fled, the woods seemed to close in around them, branches clawing at their clothes, the whispers turning into anguished wails. They sprinted through the darkness, the path now unrecognizable, fear propelling them forward. Finally, they burst out of the tree line into the town, gasping for breath, the whispers fading behind them. But as they looked back, the woods stood silent once more, deceptive and calm. In the days that followed, Mark and Lily tried to forget the terror of that night, but Sarah changed. She was quieter, distant, often staring off into space as if listening to something only she could hear. One night, as they sat together, Sarah leaned in close and whispered, "They're still calling me. I have to go back." "No," Mark cried, panic flooding his voice. "You can't. They'll take you." But it was too late. One fateful evening, Sarah disappeared into the woods, her laughter echoing faintly as she ventured deeper, drawn by the whispers that would never stop calling her name. "No," Mark cried, panic flooding his voice. "You can't. They'll take you." But it was too late. One fateful evening, Sarah disappeared into the woods, her laughter echoing faintly as she ventured deeper, drawn by the whispers that would never stop calling her name. Months later, Mark and Lily stood at the edge of the Whispering Woods, haunted by memories and the truth they could no longer deny. The woods had taken one of them, and in that darkness, the whispers would always remain. For more, please like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.